On March the 18th, 2022, His Holiness Kirill, Patriarch of Moscow and all Russia, presided over the work of the Supreme Church Council of the Russian Orthodox Church. The Patriarchal Press Service reports. Opening the meeting, His Holiness addressed himself to the participants with the following introductory remarks. I cordially greet all the members of the Supreme Church Council. After our previous meeting, a long time has passed, and a great many events have happened. Today, we are to make a number of decisions according to the agenda, but besides that, to exchange opinions on developments in the first place, on what is happening in Ukraine, and how it affects the inter-Orthodox and interconfessional relations. I will share information about my video meetings with the Pope of Rome and the Archbishop of Canterbury, when we discussed in detail primarily the problems of the security of people in Ukraine, as well as the relations between the Orthodox and Catholics as linked with the Ukraine issue. All of this is important for our relations with the Catholic Church, with the Anglican community, and certainly for the Patriarch's bilateral relations with the primates of these churches. I think that the meeting, though remote but a real face-to-face, was positive for both the preservation of good relations between our churches and for the formation, as far as possible, of a common attitude to the situation in Ukraine. I would also like to say that the events in Ukraine demand that we make not only a serious analysis from the ecclesial perspective, but also our prayers, and to stress once again that the Russian Church, despite the very negative political context, is called today to preserve the spiritual unity of our people, the Russian and Ukrainian peoples, as one nation which has come out of the Kievan baptismal font. Without doubt, this unity is exposed to certain dangers in the situation of hostilities. And if we speak of an external factor, then the internet space, the information space, has also become a battlefield. And in this space there is much disinformation, downright lies, provocative statements which can arouse negative feelings amongst people, prevent a speedy resolution of the conflict and reconciliation. In this context, I consider as especially important what is happening today in our church, in the Russian Federation, in Ukraine, in Belarus, in other countries. I believe that the stand taken by the church can become a real peacemaking factor for making a positive impact on the developments in Ukraine, a country that is fraternal to us. We should be especially zealous in lifting up prayers for peace, and should certainly accompany our prayers with concrete action. And the most concrete and important action today is to render assistance to those affected by this conflict. In the first place, refugees who have found themselves in the territory of the Russian Federation. To aid those affected by the conflict is met with broad public support, and we are going to intensify our efforts in our service of the neighbor, thus contributing to the reconciliation of our peoples. But in any historical situation, we should carry out our usual work with zeal, to which I call everyone. Most of all, it is the work of prayer and indispensable efforts to preserve good relations between peoples who have found themselves involved in this conflict. The Church cannot be a bearer of any other signal than a peacemaking one, because our flock is everywhere, on either side of the barricades. To get the full address by Patriarch Kirill, please click the link in the description.